Double Life, Chris Benoit, according to Chuck Palumbo. I remember him. Chuck Palumbo. He was with WCW first. He came to WWE, I think in 2000. Or not 2000, 2001, 2002, something like that. I think he was partners with Stasiak, right? Yeah. Yeah. Then Billy Gunn, I think. See, he was talking about Chris. Well, Jim Beam, that can stay there. You know, a lot of folks don't need that because they like to get started.
Yeah. So I don't want to stay on the negative, right? But it's like you have your opinions, and I think it really holds a lot of weight. You also were around Benoit, right? In WCW,
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah.
When Benoit murdered his family, and again, I will not cut it any which way. I don't want to hear any bullshit stories that this happened, CT, whatever. He murdered his wife and he murdered his child. Did you see that Chris Benoit in any interactions with him, or was it the total shock, like, that dude was the nicest guy in the world?
No, it's funny. If any of the boys, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to call it the boys, but
Chuck Palumbo.
I think
Seen him in a long time.
You know, a lot of guys don't want to bury him. Chris had a crazy side. Chris wasn't all there all the time. Yes. Was he very kind to everybody for the most part? Yes. Was he a very hard worker? Yes. Would he ask you to do anything that he wouldn't do? No. When he was in good spirits, was he nice to his, did he love his family? Was he kind to his family? Did he love his children? From what we saw, yes. But Chris had a crazy side. I'm sorry. I've seen it.
As a wrestler, he was intense.
Some guys, I saw the way he would snap once in a while. I saw how he acted when he drank. And him and Eddie, I loved Eddie, one of my friends. And him and Eddie would hang out and drink. Chris would get wacky. I've seen him in hotel bars. I've driven with Chris. I've seen Chris taking pills while he's drinking. I've seen Chris do a 180, like a Jekyll and Hyde move, when he was drinking and taking Xanax or whatever he was taking.
Woo,
so,
Mr. Hyde.
I remember times in the car.
They said drinking and
I
mixing.
drove with Chris and Chavo.
That's bad business.
Towards the end. And I remember at times driving, and Chris would be eating Xanax while he's drinking on the road.
Eating Xanax?
And I also believe, sorry, but anabolics, I think he was probably he was a little guy. He was jacked. He's a little guy. I believe that, may have played a role too. Not using them, abusing them. Not taking maybe a moderate dose or a doctor prescribed dose, but abusing high levels of anabolics, pills, and alcohol. I saw a different Chris, and I think most of the other guys did too. So when I hear about guys saying about what a great guy he was, killed his wife and his children.
Did he scare you?
Did he scare me personally? Not really, but I did share a room with him on a few occasions, and I'll just be honest, I would wonder. I'd wake up time to time.
Like this is like your eyes opening up, like what's this guy doing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would, because I thought he was a little weird at times. He was super helpful to me, and he was very helpful to me. But at times he was weird, man. He was aggro, and he'd act violent at times. And I know these other guys saw this stuff. And he hazed a lot of these young guys coming in. And he had guys dressing out in the hallway, and he had guys doing Hindu squats before their matches. And
So would it be fair to me to say to you,
Oh, they said those in the squat thrust will kick your ass.
Spirited human being.
Down to the knees, rough with it.
I don't know if I want to say that because I don't know if he was all the time. There were times when he was. There were times when he was, but there was from the get-go, long before that incident took place, he wasn't right, And if anybody says different, they either never saw what he had, the way he would act time to time, or they're just not saying anything. And at the end of the day, I have a child. We love our children, right?
They said that man's head was gone. So.
Kill your wife and children the way he did, supposedly. I'm sorry. And I get it. The CTE and that stuff can maybe play a role, but honestly, in this scenario, I think it was drugs and alcohol.
So here's the real question. When you hear this happened, was Chuck Palumbo surprised?
No. Was I shocked at the moment to hear it? Yeah, it's shocking to hear that. We were on the road.
Yeah.
Vince announced it. He had asked us earlier that day, Chavo and myself, he had asked us if we had, spoken to Chris. He knew we had to travel together. And Vince said, hey, I'm going to send the sheriffs over Atlanta. I'm going to send the sheriffs over to his house, see what's going on. And then not too long later, Vince came out to the ring. We're all hanging around the ring the daytime before doors opened. Some of us were sitting in the stands listening to music, whatever, and he made the announcement. We thought, because the way he mentioned it, we thought that maybe someone killed him.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we thought at first.
But
that's what I thought at first.
When the truth came out, was I surprised?
No. What was the speech? So I imagine the first speech is like, Chris has passed away, we're going to do this tribute to him, it's under investigation, everybody thinks he's murdered. Yeah. Then you find out pretty quickly that he murdered his wife and child.
Yeah.
What was Vince's speech to the team that second time?
I don't remember him giving a speech. Once the truth came out, I don't remember him addressing us in like a speech. No.
Did he say, never mention this guy's name around here again?
No, not to me anyway. I didn't hear that. And some of the other boys might remember something I didn't remember as far as like speech and stuff like that. I do know the first speech he gave us was just him coming out to the arena area where the ring is and telling us, hey, we know what happened. Chris passed away. Again, the way it was said, we thought Chris was maybe murdered or something like that.
Right. So,
okay, well,
most people.
Okay, that's it. Well, yeah, that's what we thought at first. Thought somebody had got him, but then come to find out wasn't it. Said he did. I remember, wasn't that the week Vince had blew up the or the week before, blew up the limousine, and the next thing you know, Chris thing. Then I remember folks got on the news, or the wrestler got on the news talking about I saw like a piece of it. I'm gonna have to go find it see if it's still on YouTube. I think it's like 30 minutes or something like that. Steve Blackman and Mark Miller, they were going back and forth. Yeah. I think that it was cut up. But yeah, like when you're starting YouTube, you can only upload 10, 15 minutes. So I think it was cut up. But I think it said part 1, but I didn't see the rest. I don't think I seen the rest of it. Then there was another interview. But yeah, that was something because he was one of my favorite. I remember when he had the long hair and the zebra pants. I remember all that. Yeah, that was one of my favorites. Yeah. Even going back to WCW. I think it was what they call the movie, Crippler Crossface. And me and Buddy were up here bullshitting, BSing around, calling it the crossface crippler. that sounds just as bad, and that shit looks painful. Catching your arm and then pulling up on your face. Know about that? And you can't get it loose. Almost similar to Danielson's hold, holding you there until you can't take it no more. That is rugged. Cause some submission moves was hell. Even like the what was I didn't fool with him too much. But the Regal stretch that looked rough, hurting and hollering. But yeah, I remember what else people talking about? The rumors talking about Sullivan. The Sullivan didn't do nothing. How about that? But damn, that was something.